starting off, Filthy Tom and Jorel. And Jorel psychs the crowd up and then says nope. Gets out of the way, tagging in the Mile High Samurai. Royce Isaacs is a beast. I stood beside him pre-show for a moment. And then I'll be honest with you, I got intimidated and I walked away. But Filthy Tom's a hard one to intimidate. As they're grappling around, Royce gets the go behind in a waistlock, trying to use some leverage with the legs to bring Tom down. Tom maneuvers him down with his arm, but now kind of stuck. Gets back to his feet, shoots in. Isaacs with the sprawl, tries to reverse the momentum, brings him down, and now crawls through, but Isaacs was ready for him. Isaacs with the waist lock. Tom breaks it, starts to bring him over. Both men jockeying for position. And Tom's ready to just stand him up. Almost a cheap shot there. Filthy Tom now grappling a bit more. Jorel was trying to judo throw, but Tom used his momentum to take him down, had control of the arm, gave it up to reverse over. He could be going for a choke. Yeah, definitely looks like a choke, but Jorel shouting at the crowd, and Royce reverses the momentum, getting a chin lock. Tom quickly rolls out. Isaacs now had the arm, but wants the waist. You're not really going to be able to sprawl out when Isaacs picks you up like that. From here, looks like Isaacs going for a calf slicer. Tom reversing it into a cross arm breaker. And we're back at square one again. I would have to think in the sort of grappling department that Tom would have the advantage with his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu experience, his Ultimate Fighting experience. But Royce is big and strong, and definitely, you can see it in front of you right now, knows his grappling as well. He's not a slouch there. Tom now quickly getting to the cross arm breaker. Isaacs getting to the ropes. That could have been it before we even saw Jorel Nelson or Fred Rosser. Which, while that would have been great for dirty work, that would have been poor for us. And now our first appearance of the match of Rosser. Punch in the gut from Tom. Big knee lift from Mr. No Days Off. Chop and a clothesline. Chop and a clothesline. Rosser unleashing on Isaacs in the corner and starts to throw him out. Isaacs doing a great job of catching himself so that he was not just thrown to the floor. Rosser trying to suplex Isaacs onto the apron of the ring. Isaacs preventing it. And now Jorel, the big shot to the back of Fred Rosser and a shot to the gut of Tom. And now Filthy Tom and Jorel exchanging blows until Isaacs just jumps onto Filthy Tom. This is going to be a tough match for Dirty Work because the West Coast Wrecking Crew have been tag teaming all across the country. They've held titles together. And now brawling into the crowd. The Wrecking Crew doing as their name implies. Rosser gets thrown into the chairs. Trying our best to keep up on all the action from both sides. Nelson and Lawlor were brawling around Rosser and Nelson. And now they're up here by me. That you could just hear the smack as they're beating each other, and Rosser trying his best to hold off. And you can't really blame him for biting a man when he's up against both members of the West Coast Wrecking Crew. But Nelson caught up to him and just held him down while Isaacs was able to club him with one of his large arms. And now thankfully the action is away from me. You caught me on camera. Yes, I am this good looking. We're back in the ring now. Isaac's just taunting Rosser. And just slaps the man in the face. The utter disrespect from Royce Isaacs to Fred Rosser. Rosser runs through that attempt and takes Isaacs down. Now, as much as I've been talking about how big Isaacs is, and he is, Rosser is not a tiny man. Easily scoop slams his partner, Filthy Tom, onto Isaacs. And now, Tom Lawlor giving Royce Isaacs the stroke while giving Fred Rosser the stroke onto Royce Isaacs. Filthy now has him back in the ropes. Royce says no. Brings him around for a big elbow right in the face of the Filthy one. Ducks a clothesline. And Tom taking control with a cravat and a series of knees right into the face of Isaacs. And a big code breaker right into his face. Frequent tags from Dirty Work. Whips Rosser into the corner. And now Tom diving shoulder block. Sending him back to Rosser. Combination side slam, inverted DDT. Filthy Tom with the cover. You've got two and a kick out. The Wrecking Crew not done yet. Tom, fuck face lock. Signaling, looks like he's going for a tornado DDT. No, just using the ropes as kind of a step ladder so that he could get the leverage that he needed for a guillotine. But Isaacs quickly counters. Jorel gets a cheap kick to the head. Isaacs knocks Fred Rosser down. And that's that tag team experience that you're going to see out of a seasoned team like the West Coast Wrecking Crew. And Nelson just putting the boots to him. This is definitely a heated battle between these teams, as you can see by Nelson choking Filthy Tom in the ropes. Tom now, I don't like what's going to happen next. Isaacs taking advantage, but he got caught. Fortunately, he's a participant in the match, so that's not a disqualification, but he definitely broke well in time to make sure that there was no disqualification there. European uppercut from Jorel. Nelson makes the tag into Royce. They've got the leg isolated, making sure that Rosser isn't a factor while throwing a knee into the inner thigh of Filthy Tom. Leg drag, and Rosser in time. We didn't even get a 1 count there. But Rosser never really got set, and Isaacs taking advantage, just stomping and kicking Rosser out of the way of the floor, and just kicking him through the ropes. Rosser's not happy, and Nelson says, that's okay, I'll hit you anyway. Isaacs fully at advantage in the ring over Filthy Tom Lawlor. And Nelson just threw Rosser into the wall. The Players and Spectators Event Center is becoming a weapon in this match. And now Tom, for the time being, is alone against the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Big shoulder to back suplex and a low drop kick from Jorel Nelson. Could this be it? No. Filthy Tom kicking out of that combination. Nelson now just going to try to squeeze the life out of Tom as Fred Rosser is trying to bring the crowd back into the match. Filthy working his way to his feet, which brings Nelson up because he has to carry both of their weights. Now just stomping on his foot. Couple of elbows. Filthy now misses the clothesline. Big forearm. And Filthy with a desperation to enziguri. Both men down now. This could be the turning point of the matchup, because both men probably could use a tag. But Nelson is showing his tag team experience. He didn't instantly run to his corner. He made sure that Tom was not able to get the fresher man in. And now he brings in his partner. Just gives a big stomp to the middle of the chest of Filthy. Filthy now in the wrong corner. Isaacs charges in, meets the boot of Filthy. Isaacs charges in again, Filthy out of the way. Filthy now picks him up. Nelson helping Isaacs. But wait a minute, coming around the corner, here's Rosser. Rosser pulls. And Nelson off of the apron. And Filthy just wrestles him over and slams him down on the mat. If there was ever an opportunity for Filthy Tom Lawlor to get the tag to Fred Rosser, this is it. But he has started rolling towards the wrong corner. Filthy may not exactly know where he is right now. Note to self, go the other way, and he does. Fred Rosser is in the match, and Fred is entering as at a house of fire. Big elbow to Royce Isaacs. Elbows now to Jorel Nelson. Jorel trying to reverse the momentum. Rosser catches a big backdrop and a hip attack to the head of Royce Isaacs. Tossing Jorel to the floor. Nope, just to the apron. And now Fred Rosser, big suplex on a Nelson onto the apron of the ring. Both members of the West Coast Wrecking Crew now recovering from the onslaught of Mr. No Days Off. And now go back and forth. Chopping one and giving the other an elbow. Roaring elbow now onto Jorel. And a clothesline taking Isaacs all the way to the floor. Big belly to belly from Fred Rosser onto Jorel Nelson. Rosser is on fire. And now bringing in the Filthy one. They're ready to do their team name. They're ready to do some dirty work. Getting them set up. Just sandwiched them with those elbows. Rosser with an elbow drop. Filthy now off the ropes. Sliding knee to the face of Jorel Nelson. Referee's going to count one. He's going to count two. But Nelson is not done yet. They're going to need to put a little bit more hurting onto Jorel Nelson before he's going down. But they're getting him set up for something here. Rosser now, fireman's carry. Filthy. Looks like it got countered. Nelson went to the eyes. Gets the tag into Isaacs. And now, simultaneous German suplexes from the Wrecking Crew. But there's that fighting spirit. And now, simultaneous German suplexes from Dirty Work. And the Wrecking Crew did not take him as well. And getting some punches and knees from Tom, signaling Fred to go get him. And a big body slam. That is a lot of weight to lift up and a lot of weight to put down. Rosser now with the cover. We've got two, and no. Isaacs just barely getting out of that. You could see the gears turning in the head of Mr. No Days Off, figuring out what it is he needs to do next to try to get this victory over the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Rosser now picking up Isaacs, but Jorel's got his leg from outside of the ring. Isaacs got down and just threw him down in a DDT. Tom Lawlor charges. Isaac says nope. sends him to the floor, and Isaacs sends Lawlor into the post and then into the crowd, and the Wrecking Crew is feeling it. Full Nelson to scoop him up into a bridging German suplex. We've got two. Rosser not giving up yet, gets his shoulder up. This match definitely taking its toll on all of the combatants. Isaacs bringing in Jorel Nelson now. And you know they got to be thinking of putting a double team beating, and flings him in for the spine buster. Slingshot up into the Death Valley driver. Count of one, count of two, and no. Fred Rosser's attitude was not adjusted with that one. And now Isaacs just nails the referee. Referee John was one of the kindest people that I have met here at Relentless Wrestling. Always nice. And Isaacs, and that's just bully behavior. That's uncalled for. You don't hit the referee. You keep going after your opponent. And the crowd was just as unhappy as I was. And the crowd letting the Wrecking Crew know that that was a legitimate 2 count. And now what? Oh no. They're getting the belt from the referee. That is a leather belt. Tom now making his way into the ring. He's not going to let this stand. Tom getting his wits together, grabs the belt before he can use it, and a nice double knee right into Jorel Nelson. Checks a kick, but misses that one. Isaacs gets ahead of steam with that elbow, but Rosser with the big bicycle kick right to the face of Isaacs. Nelson into the waiting arms of Fred Rosser. And now, Fireman's Carry takes him down into the lung blower and crossface chicken wing. You know who taught him that move. That is a Mr. Bob Backlund special crossface chicken wing from Fred Rosser. Royce Isaacs climbing back into the ring, but Filthy now trying to take Isaacs down using the leverage from his shoulder. He's hooking him up for a crossface, using the belt, but there's no referee. The West Coast Wrecking Crew are tapping out right now, but the referee was nailed, and now he's up, trying to figure out what's happening, and he's up in time. That was determination from Filthy Tom and Fred Rosser to make sure they held the West Coast Wrecking Crew in those submissions until the referee could recover. And once he did, this fight was over.